Paula.
Thank you. Okay. All right, we're live. Oh, hang on, what does that say?
Are we live?
Oh, I've got to put my glasses on. I
Are we
believe
live?
so.
I haven't got a clue.
We're telling your live followers. Oh, here we go. Ah, hi, Joanne.
Hi.
Oh, hi, Julie. Oh my gosh. Oh, you see, I was so worried that nobody would join us, and now I'm worried that so many people will join us.
Help. So, do you want to move it a bit because your comments are across your face?
Yeah, I know. Well, I quite like it like that. What's going?
We'll turn it a little bit more that way.
Okay.
Just a bit.
That way. We're gonna have to sort of be very close to it, aren't we, all the time now? Okay.
Can we move it in a bit?
No, because it's sort of on the windowsill.
Okay.
Hi everybody.
Hi.
Sorry, we are
Technical.
having a few not technical issues, but we're just sort of jammed in together,
We're
aren't we? So
Crumbs.
okay, and people are sending us messages as well. So
We can't
hi,
read.
hello, hi.
Hi.
Okay. Oh, it's so good to see you all. Honestly, I was just saying to Sam, I don't know whether I was more worried that nobody would turn up or that too many people would turn up, and I feel a little bit overwhelmed. So thank you for being here with us. We're really pleased to see you.
Exactly, we've got
Lots
loads.
of waving.
We've got loads. We can't read it. We can't read.
Yeah, we
Too
both
far
got well,
away.
I'm sort of trying to read, but of course it is very small.
It's just waves. Lots of
Yeah.
waves. Okay. No comments.
Okay, I'm just going to I think probably the best thing to do, we've had lots of questions emailed into us, and thank you so much for that. But a lot of them, of course, are the same. And I'll just go through the sort of subject matters that were being asked about. But firstly, just to give you a little bit of background, if you're not really familiar with Betsy, I think it's probably better that Sam and I just spend a minute just explaining to you who we are and what we do in Betsy. So I'm Paula, or Pip, people call me that too, and I set up Beautiful Betsy 7 years ago in memory of my very dearest friend Leslie, who died from breast cancer. And the thing that I remember the most about all of that, of course, there's lots of things to remember about it, but one of the things that distressed her more than anything was the fact that, having lost her hair, whether she was feeling good or bad, because she went through a period of feeling very well, people always assumed that she was at death's door and her illness had started to define her. So wearing hair was something that she could do to make people see her as a human being, not just her illness. So that's why Betsy was started, and she remains with me. Oh, sorry, I'm getting a bit emotional. She remains with me through the whole Betsy journey. So as a consequence, actually, I became ill very shortly afterwards. I don't know whether grief brought on an autoimmune disease, but lupus has got me in its grips, and I lost my hair as well. Not all of it, of course. With Betsy, you have to have some hair in order to wear her. And I needed a solution, being a very practical person. And I think during this podcast, this live Instagram thing, whatever it is, you'll learn this about me. I'm a very practical person. I find solutions to problems, and I'm very straight and linear in that resolve. So this is why Betsy was born, for my friend Leslie, and then consequently for me also. And 7 years on, here we are. We're still here. Now, this is Sam, who is my very good friend, but also an absolutely... Oh, and here's Oslo.
Can you see Oslo?
Here's Oslo.
Hello, Oslo.
Is my very good friend, but also an incredible hairstylist, knows everything about hair. I know nothing about hair, by the way. Sam is the person that knows everything about hair. So, Sam, over to you.
Hi, everyone. So I'm Sam, as you know, and I've probably worked with Paula maybe, 3, 4, 5 years now.
Yeah, I think so.
I was introduced to Paula through a mutual friend who was a photographer, and she did makeovers.
Oh yeah, Jeanette, she did my first photo shoot.
And she did makeovers on ladies who had maybe had cancer or had health problems, or for a variety of reasons wanted to feel better about themselves. So I was doing the hair and makeup for these shoots. My background is in hairdressing. I've done other things as well, but I was a lecturer in hair makeup media as well, got made redundant. COVID was a bit of a difficult time. But I met Paula I was introduced and was told to go and meet Paula. I find her terribly interesting. And I went down to Wales and we just met up and had a chat, really, with nothing in particular in view, other than I wanted to see what Betsy was and just to have a little look in case any of my clients were interested. We ended up chatting. I think we went for lunch and ended up sort of doing some work with Paula. I think we did a couple of videos.
Yes. Yeah.
And then I did a bit of styling, that's right. So my main business is bridal styling, which I completely forgot to tell you because I'm not used to Instagram lives. And then we did a bit of styling on Betsy, did some hair ups, and then I helped Paula do some of the sort of face-to-face consults. But then, of course, COVID hit and we couldn't do that anymore. So I came up with the idea of doing the video consults, which I still do now and which are pretty successful, I think.
Yeah, very helpful.
And those are booked through the Betsy website on Eventbrite, just half an hour where you can chat through maybe your concerns, mainly trying to help you choose the right top of
Practical solution, remember.
Toppers.
Practical solution.
Which one, which density, which colour. And it's really helpful. Most people say it's really, really helpful, and it sort of breaks down all the things not to look at, narrow it down. This is what you need to look at, these three, and then it helps you make a decision. After that point, obviously, it's up to you what you do, but that I can help further, and we can help further as well.
It's useful to just note that during the consultation, we don't sell anything, Sam and I. We're not salespeople.
No, not at all.
I come from a perspective of a woman who needs to wear hair because I don't have enough of my own, and Sam comes from a perspective of being a hairdresser and having met many women like me in her working life.
Absolutely.
We don't sell. We just advise. We would never want anybody to buy Betsy who doesn't need it or know what to do with it. So just be very clear on that. During the consultations, the most important thing is that you understand what Betsy is and how you need to, first of all, style your own hair in order to wear her, and how to use Betsy in order to get what you need from her. So on that note, okay, we're going to go on to styling now. Gosh, it's really difficult. I mean, I've never appreciated, right? I'm so glad to see you all here. Hello, thank you for joining us. But whilst we're talking, of course, what we need to be doing is, you need like a third person, don't you, with another phone, just looking at the, yes, because we're blind as bats.
Next time.
looking at everything. So what I wanted to just say to you is that after each bit that we do now, we're going to be with you for about an hour. We're going to then just ask you if you've got any specific questions, okay? And then that might be the best option, because then we can actually concentrate on what you're saying rather than what we're saying, okay? So I think we're going to start with styling, because a lot of you have asked questions about this. And if you want me to do a live demo, then if we start talking about it now, and then what Sam can talk about other things while I'm faffing around with Betsy in the background, and I can show you how we do that. So I get lots and lots of comments on through email and social media about how people are unable to style Betsy like I do. Okay, now I don't know what to say to you about that, other than I'm not a hairdresser, and before Betsy I wasn't very good at styling hair either. And I've just made it my mission to know how to style hair to make me look better, okay? And I think that's the only advice I can give you on that. Sam will be able to give you some more practical spin, but the point is that styling hair is a bit of an art, really. I mean, it is, quite frankly. And you need to find your way, and you need to find the best way of doing it. Now, I can tell you how I do it, and I'm going to actively show you how I do it, but you might have to do it differently. You might have to use different products, and you might have to use different apparatus. But I'm just going to show you what I do, if that's okay. Right? Good. So I think I have mentioned many times before that I've never worn my hair straight. I've always been a kinky person, and I never designed Betsy to be worn flat to the head like that, okay? And now I know that that has been a sort of style or a trend of in the last few years, but it's not something that Betsy was designed for. Now, I'm going to come very close to the camera now, because a lot of you say, oh, I can't get her to look right at the front, and so on and so forth. And you know, I'm often queried as to how I do this effectively. Just get rid of that wine, I don't want to spill it. So let's just be very, very clear on this. So here's me, here's my Betsy. I'm going to lift it so you can see where I start and Betsy begins. Okay, and you see there's my hair loss in all its glory. And you'll also see that I comb quite a lot of hair forward, because the hair I've got, it's no good keeping it under wraps. You know, I might as well use it where it's most useful to me. Okay, so first things first, that's that. Now, the reason that my own hairline is pretty undetectable is because I don't wear my parting flat. Betsy is designed to grow from the base and then collapse, just like your own hair. She's not designed to be like that, okay, like two curtains. And I choose to wear her the way that I designed her for. So I know that there may be some retailers out there that do it differently, but that's just how Betsy is. And when I washed this piece today, and I've let it dry naturally in the sunshine, which is great, just for 5 or 10 minutes. And then I've literally just gone in and curled it with a curling wand. So, in a Blue Peter moment.
Over to Paula. So how long does this normally take you, Paula, would you say?
Well, so this is a freshly washed piece. It's a 10-inch piece because I've got my hair quite short at the moment.
A bit of a wave, hasn't it? Nice wave.
Listen, well, Betsy always dries with a beautiful wave.
Yeah.
But the point about this is that I haven't put any product on her prior to her drying. If you want Betsy to stay in a lovely wave and maintain that wave until you wash her again, well, or wave her again, you're going to need to put some styling product on her. Anybody with kinky curly hair will tell you it takes ages. You know, you don't just wake up, you don't just get out of the shower and have beautiful curly glorious hair.
You do not. No.
So
it's a long process.
Whatever you want to do to Betsy, whether you want to keep her kinky or whether you want to have her straighter, then you are going to need to use the product that makes it that way. Okay. Now, what I do, because I quite like her kinky, I haven't put any product on this yet, but the product I do tend to use is either the Tresemme Heat Defense Spray, because that just protects the hair, or if I'm feeling particularly that I want this style to be, because how do I describe this? If you want your hair to be silky smooth and sort of like just drop, then you don't use products like this, which is Colour Wow, okay, on Betsy, because what this does is it gives it a bit of oomph, it gives it a bit of texture, so that when you
smooths the curls a little bit.
Yeah, and smooths them. So if you can use her to, if you're going to put a straightener through her, then this would work and make her straight. But if you're going to keep her kinky, then this just gives her a bit of taffiness, I like to call it, so that she feels lovely, but when you do something with her, she actually does something back. Okay, if that makes any sense.
What's that product?
This is Colour Wow. This is the 1 minute transformation cream. And I tend to, if I'm going to use it, put it on when Betsy's damp. Okay. Just nearly dry almost. Put it on and then quickly give her, I use a Dyson thing with a brush on the end. It doesn't have to be Dyson. Oops. It doesn't have to be a Dyson, but any hairdryer with a brush that you can have on a cool setting, that's what I would use. And then to make her curly or wavy, I use this, which is a Remington curling wand. Okay. And that's all I use. Now, while that's heating up, and I'm going to stop talking now because I've been talking a long time, I'm going to I'll be doing this in the background so you can see, and I'm going to let Sam talk about other issues with regards to styling.
So, question. How long do you think this takes you to style, Paula? Because I think people assume it's going to take you half an hour.
It's going to take me 5 minutes.
Okay, so around about 5 minutes. Yeah. So even if you struggle with your hair, you struggle with styling, there's a few little sort of golden rules, to be honest. Firstly, I would say you need to do something to your own hair, probably. The likelihood is you need to do something to your own hair. So if your hair is uncoloured, it's going to be finer. If you have a few highlights and lowlights, it's going to be a little bit denser, a little bit thicker, and it's more likely to blend with your topper. So as a hairstylist, if somebody sat in my chair in front of me, they'd had some hair loss, their hair was really getting quite thin, they'd obviously maybe pursued going to the doctor, similar. We're going to hold it up as well. I would say that the best way to get a little bit more oomph in your hair is to have a little bit of colour, because what colour does, it actually swells the hair shaft, it makes the hair fatter. So immediately after a colour, you're going to feel like you have a little bit more hair. Also, lightening and darkening at the same time, so low and highlights, creates a 3D effect. And it's that 3D effect of multiple colours which makes the hair look thicker. So then you're going to choose a topper. So you're either going to choose a topper to go with your hair, or you're going to choose, you're trying to sort of blend the topper with your hair, or you're trying to blend your hair with the topper, and both are fine. You can do either. And what I do when I'm doing consults is say to people, ultimately, when they're really struggling to choose, is get the colour you like the most. Get the colour you want to be. Don't say, I have to match my own hair, especially if you're not that keen on your own hair.
Yes, you could have any colour
Go
hair you
for
like.
what you like, and then you can slightly change your hair to match the topper. All
It doesn't
right?
have to be a match though, does it?
No. Oh no, not like a match, but like a blend, like a subtle blend. And a lot of clients just have half a head of highlights through the top. So often the top of the hair is quite light and the underneath is quite dark. So there's nothing wrong with putting a slightly lighter topper on darker hair, as long as it doesn't look like two different colours, because I don't particularly like that look, to be fair. I like a blended colour, but you can wear more colours than you think you can. All right, so I can spend hours talking to someone about what colour they should wear, but actually they can probably wear 3, 4, 5 different colours. And I do tell them that, but I think they don't believe me. So
Yeah.
Honestly, you really can. You really can. Okay.
Also, Betsy's a bit of a chameleon. So my own natural hair is much darker than what I'm wearing. So, but she will sort of blend in with whatever you've got on.
Absolutely. So in terms of colouring, obviously there's lots and lots you can do, but there's also a bit of a myth that hairdressers can't colour Betsy and they can't cut Betsy. I probably would say 9 out of 10, maybe, I don't know, 19 out of 20 of people I speak to say that their hairdresser says, I can't touch Betsy, I'm too scared. I said, well, if they can cut hair, they can cut Betsy. But it's just make sure you put it in the right position on the head. You put it on your head, not the hairdresser. Because we did have someone that had it put on sideways, didn't we? And they had a fringe. Backwards. They had the fringe cut in here,
sideways,
but it was actually sideways. So when they went home, they realised they had a fringe at the side. And then they said, can we do anything about it?
Unfortunately not.
Sorry.
Can I just say that it's taken me less than 5 minutes to do
on.
this. Okay, so very loose curls all the way through. What I tend to do is once I've done her, okay, I'll do both the top and the bottom and beneath. It's very important that you do that. I'm going to put her on now. Once I've done her, what I tend to do is God knows what I look like under here.
And Paula was doing it in her hand. She was just holding it.
Yes.
It wasn't clipped onto anything. She was just holding it.
Yeah, okay. Betsy's not as delicate as some people believe. So I'm just going to pop her on. I'm going to get nice and close. So what I normally do is I finish her. I finish doing the bits and pieces when I've actually got her on. Now, I don't know whether hang on.
It's quite.
I know.
We might need to be thinking.
It's really bizarre, isn't it? Okay, so have I got it on right?
I think so. Look in your mirror.
I think so. I'm going to look in the mirror now.
Look in your mirror, then look back at the screen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yes.
Oh, a bit more to the bit there. That's it.
More.
Yeah, so that's in the perfect position now.
So leaving a bit of your own hair at the front there, just to create that. So when people are looking at you, what they're really seeing is your own hair actually.
I'll just clip that on.
And then any little blend here, you can blend with root powder, or you can have it coloured.
Just talking about Betsy's chameleon-like nature. I mean, these two pieces are completely different blondes. I mean, you might not be able to tell on the video with the light on them, but this one's much darker, this one's much lighter. So now that I've got her on, I think I need to I'm just gonna go along and do the front bit again, just here.
So always curl away from the face, and if you can't do it when you're looking in the mirror, do it by feel. So don't look in the mirror, take your wand or whatever you're using, and then think, I need to go backwards. Start going backwards and then look up in the mirror. And after a while, when you've done it for quite a while, you'll find that you'll do it automatically.
Yeah.
And you just need to take sections. Like I curl my hair in 5 sections. I do one there. Like imagine an orange. You've got an orange segments, and imagine like a chocolate orange, little orange shaped segments. I do like one there, one there, one there, one there, one there. If I'm going out, I might do 7. So I just literally do one section curled all the way from top to bottom. You don't need to section it all off.
Okay, so right. Oh, I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
What does it say?
Okay, so Tara's asked, do you have a salon in London? Okay, we'll just put this to bed. We don't have any salons. I mean, Betsy is an online retailer, and we don't have a shop or salons. Now, sometimes in pre-COVID days, we'd go out and we'd do events, live events, and in actual fact, we've got some interesting news about that, but we'll leave that till the end. But obviously with COVID, that has completely changed, which is why we do video consults now. I think it's 95% of our clients buy Betsy online, and that's it. They just take her away, do what they need to do to her to make her look like themselves. But unfortunately, if you feel the need to go and physically try pieces on in a salon, we're not the retailer for you. There are retailers out there that do that. Okay, so how do I look? How does that? I can't really tell. My eyesight is bloody awful.
It's lovely.
Okay.
Brilliant.
So I hope you can appreciate.
Blonder.
Yeah, I'm much blonder. I might just take this one off. I haven't done my makeup for a really blonde piece today. But I mean, that was just a live demonstration of how, with practice, because I'm not suggesting that as soon as you get Betsy or whatever, you become an absolute magic magician with regards to styling.
A magic magician.
With practice, anybody can do anything. Okay, I'm a big believer in that. So let's just put this back on.
Shall I just talk for a second about a few products that I really love?
Yes.
For styling, because we're talking about styling.
Yes.
Okay, so Paula's shown you the Wow, it's 1 minute transformation, and this is for, it normally goes on dry hair. You can blow dry smooth with this. You can curl with it. You can put it in afterwards on dry hair. Which
is actually a good point to make. So I often, on our FAQs, it says this: don't blow dry Betsy from wet.
Yes.
Wait until she's nearly dry, and then use your heat with something like Colour Wow to give her to straighten the cuticle. Basically, what is it? Is it straightening the cuticle?
Smoothing the cuticle.
Smooth
the
cuticle
goes downwards like little roof tiles, and it grows top to bottom. And what you're trying to do is smooth that cuticle. Okay. No more than 160 degrees, so you must have a heat adjustable.
Yes, there we go. So 160, Melanie, that we've got it on.
Yeah, so no more than 160, that's max. So be the same on hair extensions or wigs. So the same rules apply to any sort of wear a hair if you like. Okay, whereas you can use more, but I would suggest if your hair's a bit fine or brittle to probably not go over 180 to 200. I use higher when I'm doing my wedding styling because I need to, because it's got to last all day. But you just want a nice tousled curl. Okay.
Sorry, can I just stop? What does that?
That's
do you know what that means? Because I don't do many lives, so I don't.
Reading, request to join when someone joins anyone. So it's just somebody you may not know asking to join, and we don't know what's happening.
We'll be better at this at some point.
We read up on it, but unfortunately, it doesn't tell you everything. So, product I absolutely love. So all of these products can be used on your own hair or Betsy. Okay, you don't need a whole load of products. I love also Wow. Weirdly, Paula had this one, and this is my favourite. Supernatural Dream Coat. It's basically a spray leave-in product. It's got a little bit of hold, but it's mainly anti-humidity. So
very important in this
it
heat.
lasts 3 shampoos. So once I find it builds up a little bit, so you use it and you don't need to use it till you've washed it 2 or 3 times again. So on Betsy, we're talking a wash about every 30 wears.
Well, I mean, you know, I kind of like, now that I've been doing this for a while, I always say just wash Betsy when she needs it.
Yeah.
Okay. So if your hair isn't flowing the way that you want it to, if it's not sort of looking the way, wash it and condition it and just start all over again. You know, I've done this a lot with lots of pieces now, and I've found that if you're gentle with her and you use the right products, then you can wash her and condition her when you need. Okay.
Brilliant. Yeah, that's helpful though, isn't it?
Yeah.
So wash.
Just not every day.
No, not so. Sometimes people do. They get, oh, I wash my hair every week, and I'm like, oh, you don't need to do that. You're just going to end up with really dry topper.
Yes.
So colour out, coats the hair. It's, imagine like a Teflon coating on a saucepan, you know, or an iron or something. You're putting an iron on your hair. So use this on your own hair and on Betsy, okay? And really will help, especially when it's hot and steamy, helps to stop that frizzy humidity, okay? And a lot of people have said they really, like, we've recommended this. I recommend it to a few people, and they said they absolutely love it. What's happening?
I don't know what's happening.
Looks like we've got somebody live in their lounge. We've got somebody's doorway. We need to maybe
hang on. I'm sorry. That might have been.
We might need to.
Yeah.
You might be live, somebody. So see if you can just change that.
Yeah, I can't move it. I'm so sorry. I don't know what. Oh,
okay. Well, we'll carry on. I'll carry on talking. So those 2 products.
I'm back.
Oh.
If we want.
Sorry. Can I ask you to stop it? So that
how do I do that? I don't know how to do that.
Oh gosh.
Oh my god.
Asking the wrong people.
Oh sugar.
Just unjoin.
Unjoin and then join again.
Unjoin, right. Oh my god, right, okay. Leave, right, okay.
We don't know.
Okay, thank you, darling. Thank you, much appreciated.
I think they asked, and then we invited them, and somehow they went to share our screen. So
well, I think it was my fault.
So back to so I love for your own hair. It's actually really, really cheap. It's Superdrug, vegan, cruelty-free, etc., etc.
We love Superdrug. We love Superdrug
dry
products.
shampoo. I use it on all my brides. I use it on all the bridesmaids.
I use it too.
Paula uses it. I use it. If your hair's feeling flat, greasy, just
only your own hair though, not Betsy.
Not Betsy. Lift it up, spray it underneath. Okay. So just to get that bit of oomph. If you're wearing clips and the clips feel a little bit tight, maybe your hair isn't that thick, and you're worried about the clips pulling your hair. Tiny bit of back combing and either a little bit of dry shampoo or a bit of root powder. This one's a puffer one, okay? So, or you can got a shaker one. So pop a bit of that where your clips sit, a little bit of back combing, and what happens? Your clip will sit in that area, and it will feel much more comfortable. Okay, so just a little tip there. So products we love for your own hair. This is just me saying I love it. I use it. It's L'Oreal Series Expert Volumetry. For your own hair, not for a topper. This will give your hair loads of volume. Yeah. It's like a deep cleanse, so clear shampoos are much better because they really, really clean the hair and they make it much more voluminized. But don't use that on your topper because you need your sulfate freeze on your topper.
Yes, you do.
Okay. And then, last but not least, Paula's favourite, Cocoa and Eve, and it's a type of sort of oil serum product.
Now, look. Lots of people use different oils and things. My only point about this is always use an oil and just a tiny bit, by the way, tiny bit on your topper, because it doesn't get the natural oils that your own hair does from your scalp, and it needs moisturizing. But don't use any oil that would solidify. So don't use coconut oil, because what coconut oil does, it feels lovely when it goes on, but you go into a cold room, it goes solid. And then,
Sorry.
although at the time, because it's so minutely placed in your hair, you can't tell. When it comes to wash it, those solids stick together. They become tacky and they stick together. And very, very little will help you at that point. It takes a very long time to get the stuff out. So be really, really, I mean, we love Coco and Eve.
Sparing.
We also, yeah, be very sparing. There's also a couple of things on our FAQ page that we love as well. But try to use something that's natural and won't solidify once it's cold.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I like Moroccan oil's really nice.
Moroccan oil's good, the good stuff.
And argan oil.
Make sure, but make sure it's the good stuff.
Pure.
The pures, not the, because the other ones have got oils in that might solidify.
Yeah, not good. And
that causes a lot of problems.
So that's my little producty bit.
Okay, so we've done that now. So hang on. So Joanne. Oh, Joe's also saying the Moroccan oil also goes hard. Yeah, I mean, if you buy the wrong kind, Joe, I mean, you've got to buy the really, really good stuff. The thing is about all of these products is some of them might be really expensive, but because you're using minute amounts, it will last you for. I mean, that's
got to be pure oil.
Bearing in mind how many toppers go through Betsy HQ, that bottle has lasted us 8 months. Okay, 8 months.
Yeah.
On hundreds of toppers.
It's literally a tiny bit in your hands to work it through. Don't give it straight
just
on.
a teardrop.
Yeah, literally like that, a little bit, and it does the hair just gives that silkiness.
Yes,
and
it does.
It brings it when you've styled your hair. And it's feeling a tiny bit fluffy. Just brings that like slight bit of definition back into the hair.
Yeah,
and sort of moisturizes it really as well. So yeah.
So on styling then, does anybody have any specific questions? We might have missed them as we were waffling on. So if there is anything that you specifically want to know, now is the time to ask while I'm quaffing a little bit of wine. And just letting you know that
this is just juice, by the way.
No, it's not. And then so we will let's just
do you want me to read while you quaff your wine?
Well, I can't. I think is hair topper mono or lace?
Okay, that's it. Yeah.
Okay, so the toppers that I wear, all right, my preferred topper is a mono, always has been. So look, I know I get a lot of people saying, how do you get your parting to look natural? There's a trick to it, I have to admit, and that is about a little bit of shadow rooting. Now, on this piece that I'm wearing, it's very, very, very close colour to the colour that the topper is. But when you're wearing it, it creates some what it does, it creates a... I've just lost my word.
I'm reading questions.
I've just lost my word.
It creates a
seamless...
Oh my God, I've lost the word. At the roots.
Not density.
Shadowing.
Yeah, well, it's creation. It's like an illusion. Okay, it's an illusion. And when you look at the party, I mean, would you know? I mean, okay, I'm not going to ask this question.
What length have you got on?
10 inches. Would you know that hair wasn't my own? When we just asked the question, I should have put a little polyp, shouldn't I?
You should have done, actually.
In all my glory.
Just this comment, if you like to comment. If you saw Paula in the street, you were chatting to Paula, would you know that was a topper?
I'm hoping for the right answers here.
We're hoping. Please answer correctly.
So this piece has got a much more defined shadow root on it, and you can see there. I've been quite lazy.
To be in your...
Oh no, don't.
No, they don't want to be. Yeah.
And so that's a much more defined shadow root. But if I hold it against my hand, again, no one's going to know. No one's going to know that you're wearing hair. So that's the mono. If you're wearing a silk top, I mean, people say the silk top
absolutely natural. I'd never know. Yeah, absolutely fab. Brilliant.
Silk tops are renowned to be the most realistic, and they're lovely. I mean, I'll get one for you in a moment to show you the difference. But for me, they tend to be, I feel, a little bit heavier on the head because they're fabric and they're not just this, which is like a very, very fine mesh instead, which is much more comfortable for me to wear. So it's entirely up to you, but we always recommend people go for a mono to begin with and then see how they get on with that. Right, hang on, there's been some questions, haven't there?
Yes.
So
request to be, people are requesting to be. So Unfortunately, we can't add people to the live video. I think
we're
maybe
not
people are just requesting. You can follow.
You're already here. You're here. We can see your comments.
If you're following Beautiful Betsy, you should be able to just come onto the live.
Oh, and we're really pleased that everyone thinks you look fabulous.
Oh, that's nice, isn't it?
Does the mesh irritate your scalp? My lupus scalp is sore. Well, I mean, it's a difficult question to ask, isn't it? For me to answer, because it doesn't irritate mine. Never has. But everybody is different. Now, what we say is that you. I don't know how to answer that question, to be honest, because it's an individual question. But my mesh doesn't irritate me. There are ways that you can actually add a lining to it if it does irritate you. If you have a fabric that isn't irritable to you, a fine fabric, then it's very, very straightforward to tack something in to the base to sit on your head if your scalp is that sensitive. So that might be an option.
Would you recommend silk? Would you find?
Yeah,
silk?
you could put some silk. I mean, we've done this before, haven't we?
We've got a few silk toppers as well.
Well,
on the website.
I'll show you. We have.
We've got a dog in the middle. We've got Oslo. Come and say hello, Oslo. So we do have silk toppers on the website. We don't have as many silks, but we have some in lowest.
Yeah, I'm going to show you a
lowest
silk. I'll show you lowest.
Then we have a few grace in silks as well. Limited colours, but we definitely have some silks. So if that's a problem, the silk is just that tiny bit smoother. Just most people will find them on it, but just occasionally people find that silk just a little bit more comfortable.
So that's the silk. So as you can see, it is a fabric, and there's the parting. Okay. So, you know, and that, by the way, is chestnut.
And that's Lois.
Yeah. Chestnut Lois, gorgeous, gorgeous piece.
Yeah, beautiful.
Okay. Oh gosh, there's so many people. Oh no, what's going on now? Hang on.
Okay, so.
Can I wear lotions, etc. underneath or without? Yes, of course. Yes.
Can I wear?
You know what? Betsy's quite robust.
Can I wear lotions
Yeah.
underneath?
It shouldn't be a problem at all.
Okay. So, what was the? You had quite a few questions in advance, Paula, as well.
Yeah, hang on.
Is there anything that was particularly?
Yeah. Okay. So, just carry on asking questions. We'll just answer them as we go. Yeah. One of the questions I have been asked, just specifically about Lois, is whether Lois is going to be available in different colours. Now, I'll just say this generally because this is the truth about any industry that we're trying to work in now. Since COVID and Brexit, getting anything has become quite difficult. Getting a regular supply of anything has become quite difficult. We've had to change a couple of our suppliers, and the costs of wholesale of hair have gone up tenfold since I started this business 7 years ago. So it's really difficult for us to expand our range right now. In actual fact, you'll notice that we've had to reduce it somewhat because as a business, as a small business, we cannot buy as much stock as we used to be able to. So I'm not going to say no to Lois becoming available in different colours as a stock colour, but it will take a little bit of time. What you can do though is you can ask us for a colour and we can find out whether we can get it made for you, okay, as a one-off. So that's an option. We're working on a way to do that in a more smooth way, so it's a transactional way, but quite frankly, any retailer will tell you that everything has become a lot more difficult since the COVID pandemic, and it's still very, very difficult to get suppliers and to get things when you want them and need them. So we'll see. We might. It's difficult. It's just difficult. I'm sorry to be so waffly about it, but it's so hard for me because I'd love to be able to say yes. What else?
Right, there's three distinct things. Okay. One is about plucking hairs to widen.
Oh, yeah. Why would anybody want to do that?
I don't know why anyone, but I guess you could pluck hairs.
You can, if you want to. Of course you can.
Okay. Second one is, in fact, there's two similar ones about blonde hair, blonde and grey hair.
Oh yes.
Multiple shade hair. So most people's hair is multiple shades unless it's coloured, if you see what I mean. So natural hair. So particularly, a lot of people talk about salt and pepper hair. I guess what they mean is partly grey, partly brown, bit of blonde, bit of white. So you are never going to get every single hair matched up to every single hair on your head. But what you can do is go for a good blend. Yeah. So I do occasionally do bespoke colours to people, and I will literally put 3 to 4 colours through that. But that's very time consuming. It looks great. It's fabulous. They come to me and I colour match them, and we do it that way. But there are many ways of just making them blend really nicely. And I think Paula was going to show you this topper, was it?
Well, this one here, which is a silver, which we put an ash brown through the roots. So this is a bit of a, I suppose it's more of a fashion topper than it would be anything else. The colours, it is, you can't really tell on the video, but it's absolutely beautiful. Yeah, it's really lovely. It's sort of metallic, I would say.
Yeah.
And it's very, very flattering on. So, but also, Sam, just to say, but just to say about that, if your hairdresser dyes your hair,
I was just going to say, yeah,
and you're asking us how Betsy's going to blend, you need to ask your hairdresser
absolutely
to do it.
Yeah,
because if she's dyeing your hair and now Betsy is part of your hair, then she'll be the best person, or he will be the best person to ask
do the same
colours.
But so get your hair coloured first, then have it put on you, have it cut to match, cut to blend, then get it coloured. So get the colours tested on the underneath of the hair before.
Yes,
just on the top. So a few little pieces. So say they use 2 or 3 colours on you. Maybe if they put blonde, you might not need blonde because this is already blonde, for example. You might have one that's quite a light blonde. So they might just need to put 2 different coloured low lights. Test it underneath. If it doesn't come out quite the same as your hair, bearing in mind, if I coloured 10 people's hair with the same colour, they'd all come out differently. Okay?
And Betsy's no different.
It's not because there's something wrong with Betsy. It's because you're looking at the colour here, you're choosing a colour, and you have to work out that colour mixed with that colour, what's it going to be? So you test it. Once you've got it right, you go, oh, I might need that a bit darker, a bit lighter. Then they can go ahead and colour. And you should be able to get a really good match. Okay, so there's your answer, is really get your hairdresser to do it. And just to use ammonia-free colours, that's the rules. Okay, I prefer generally, especially if they're first time coloured by a hairdresser, is to use what I call a demi-permanent colour the first time round, because that way there's a little bit more room for manoeuvre in case it goes a bit dark. Just wash it a couple of times and it will lift up. Okay, so don't over worry about it. Okay, and in terms of using your own colours, ammonia free, if you're a bit scared colour underneath, try semis or demis first off, because they're much safer, because they do wash out to a degree. And if you really struggle, then you know we can do routing and low lighting for you. And what was
you can, Sam.
I can. Well, well, HQ, you can order them.
You can order them rooted and low lighted at the point of sale, but they will be rooted and low lighted in a shade, 2 or 3 shades below what the colour of the topper is.
Yeah.
Just to talk about colouring again. I mean, because I often get asked, what colour am I wearing? I just need to make this point that I colour all of my own toppers to suit me, and that's what we're trying to encourage everybody to do. Now, one of the ways that I do that is using a toning shampoo. So this is a pearlescent conditioner by Bleach London, which is fabulous for blonde hair. It brightens up your blonde, and it's not that sort of bright blue or bright purple colour, so it's not terrifying to use. You don't think you're going to turn out lilac. We did put it, I did put it on this topper earlier, just to let you know. Somebody just asked what colour this is. So this is silver. This is our silver topper, which is the silver is over there.
Let's show you. Let's bring the little head over.
Okay, so it's this colour. Okay, this is silver, which is also a beautiful colour. And all we've done is we've taken this colour as the base, and we've used an iridescent brown to colour it. So that's what we do. We take a lighter colour as the base, and we make
Probably
beautiful.
Did you silver that first, Adele?
Well, no, this is a stock piece that we've just put some of that pearlescent shampoo through just to brighten it up a little bit.
You start with the linen, didn't you?
No, it's grey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's proper silver.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got silver pieces now.
Lovely.
And then this is a result of putting iridescent brown through it.
These are questions that people are going to ask, so I'm trying to ask the questions. So pearlescent that Paula used is not really a classic silver shampoo. It's got a little bit of pinkiness in it and a little bit of warmth, so it doesn't go quite as flat a colour, so it's quite like a safe colour to use. Okay, so have another look again.
And if you're a bit scared with any of these shampoos and conditioners, you can just add normal shampoo or conditioner to them just to water them down a bit. You don't have to buy specific products to do that. So if you're using a purple conditioner, let's say that's what you're using, if you add just a splodge of normal conditioner, 50-50, that will lighten it and make it less
dilution.
Dilution. That's the word I was looking for.
Dilution. Yeah. And my favourite product it's very similar. It's Maria Neela. It's organic, vegan, and cruelty free. And I buy it in wholesalers, and they do a whole range of they're called colour masks. So they are basically a treatment mask with colour in. There's silvers, browns, a whole variety. I use it on my own hair and my clients' hair, but it really smooths as well. So if it's gone a bit dry, your topper, or your own hair's gone a bit dry, these are really, really good for just bringing that moisture back into the hair and just adding that little, when your hair's just gone a bit faded, it was lovely and fresh, it's just gone a bit faded, they just brighten it up, give you a little kick of colour. Yes, they will wash out because they're designed to, but they're safe because that they're going to wash back out again. And
Superdrug, by the way, do a Superdrug owned product, which is fabulous. It's about £1.70 for a bottle. It's a shampoo in toner. It will shampoo in and it will shampoo out. So there really is no danger. And just by the way, if you do put something in your hair like a shampoo in thing and it's too strong, use Head and Shoulders shampoo, not the 2-in-1, the shampoo, and it will take it down 2 or 3 notches.
The old-fashioned Head and Shoulders.
Yes.
Every hairdresser's nightmare, but it's absolutely fabulous if you've gone too dark on a colour. When somebody
make sure you condition really well afterwards.
I coloured my hair brown at the weekend and it's gone black.
Yes.
That's because you put dark brown on it, and dark brown's black. So Head and Shoulders.
But now you've just put me onto one of my very pet subjects.
I've got a dog again.
Oh, hello, Oslo. So when you are thinking of colouring your hair, always go lighter. Okay, so if you want to colour a light brown piece, say a dark brown, don't buy dark brown, buy mid brown, because Betsy will have been chemically treated at some stage in her life and she will take on colour really, really well. So if you use a dark brown on a piece, she will go black. Okay, really important. Always go a shade lighter or 2 than you think you're going to need. Same thing, if you have a blonde Betsy and you want to shade her a darker blonde, let's say, don't use dark blonde, use medium blonde. That'll be enough.
This is dark blonde. My roots are dark blonde.
There you go.
In terms of colouring, the names don't relate to what the colours actually are. So look at the colour, not at the name.
Yes.
So dark blonde is actually really like medium to dark brown. Okay, medium.
It really
blonde
is.
is still quite dark.
Yes.
So be really careful. Always test them underneath. Honestly, if you test underneath, and if you want to go a bit lighter but not too light, you can mix 2 colours together. Because in a salon we'd mix 5 colours. I
even mix shampoo and toners together. So the Superdrug ones, if you've got a cool blonde and a honey blonde, and you don't want to go too cool, then just mix them. Just mix the cool with the honey, and you'll get a slightly less honey blonde.
You'll get ash gold.
Ash
which
gold.
is half and half.
Yeah, which is lovely, by the way.
Ash gold is a perfect colour.
It is.
Most clients get ash gold.
So don't be too worried about. Again, what Sam said, when you're doing it, do a test first. So just take a goodly portion of the back of Betsy where no one will see, and test it out first before you do the whole head.
And don't panic. If it says leave it for 25 minutes, and you're like, oh, in 5 minutes it's not right, that's because you haven't left it for 25 minutes, because that's follow the manufacturer's instructions.
Yes.
Although I would say Betsy does take
colour very well.
Take colour really well.
Yeah.
So sometimes you're like, oh, it's gone a bit darker than I thought. So just be a little bit careful
Yeah.
there.
Okay, so
there were questions about small.
Oh,
do
yes.
we have small toppers? And
Yes.
for small heads.
Yes.
And yes, we do. We have babies.
We have babies.
Tiny.
So
tiny.
we have babies. This is a standard base. Okay, so it's a 5x6. I think it's 5x6. I'm saying it. And this is a 2.5 by 3. So if you've got a small head, or if you're really just looking to cover certain, or you just want a bit of va-va-voom. Actually, Sam, you're going to put that on. Yeah,
I might do. So this is not cut, nor coloured, or anything to match my hair.
This is fudge.
But I grabbed this because I thought it might match. It's a bit lighter than me, so it's a nice colour. One of my favourite colours, actually.
Yes,
I did put 3 curls in it just now. So honestly, I can't see, but can I see what I'm doing? Let's see. What do we think? That clip's not done up. So I've got a long greying out fringe. I wear my hair like that because I have hair loss at the front of my hair, and that way you can never see this part of my hair. So my suggestion is always to wear some description of fringe, whether that be a side fringe, or you can wear it like a full fringe, or you can wear it like a greying out fringe.
You look fabulous.
Fabulous. But there's just a small amount of hair in that. It's a tiny bit of a wave. And actually, how does that match? Does it match? It's a little bit lighter than me.
Well, it doesn't matter if it doesn't match, but what it does is blends.
So the whole point of that is really, I'm putting a different colour on my hair, and I can still get away with it. So do not overthink colours. There is so much stress around choosing colours. And sometimes all you need is just to put a tiny toner on it for 5 minutes. And people get really panicked about toners. A toner is just a wash, a fine wash of colour. And you can wash it out if it's not right. Yeah. All right. Don't worry about them.
I often say
they're fun.
We would love to be able to stock every colour that hair comes in, but that would be millions of different colours. So we can only, if we don't stock the colour that's close, yeah, you look stunning, by the way. That's what the comments are coming in on. You need, basically, if you're in between shades, buy the lighter one and then make it darker by toning.
That was what I was going to say. Yeah, don't go darker. You can't lighten a topper. You can darken, you can tone. You can tone, meaning, so say your hair's a bit, I don't know, I call it yellow, but a bit gold, a bit yellowy gold. Toning means taking out the gold, taking out the warmth, and you can tone the other way. So you can cool it or you can warm it. So say it's a bit cool, as in a bit ashy, you can warm it by putting golds, chestnut, coppers. Or if it's too warm, as in too yellow, too orange, too whatever, you can cool it.
Yes.
Okay. That's what a toner is. A toner isn't really a colour as such. It's just if you did art at school and you had a bit of yellow paint and you put a bit of purple paint in it, it just went like a pale brown. So the lighter the colour you are, the less, say you were yellow, pale yellow, you add pale violet. If you're dark yellow, you add dark violet. If you're gone greenish, like khaki, you add red.
Yes.
If you're pale green, you add pink.
Yeah, and like I said, this is the difference, which is sometimes when we were just talking earlier about the purple shampoos, some of them can be really, really purple or really, really blue and too strong, basically. So again, if you just dilute it with some conditioner or some shampoo, depending on what the product is, that will make it much easier for you to use.
Unless you want a blue rinse, of course.
Okay, what's that? Do you have a remote fitting gun? Okay. Do we have any? Okay. So, all right, we're nearly at the end of our time. 7:11. 7:11. Goodness me. Yes. Someone's just asked us, are we thinking of doing the live events again? Now, we are, but they are going to be a little bit different. We're going to do a live event in Bath in, we said November, but it could be
Maybe.
earlier. We could do it October time.
Yeah, I'm away a lot, so it depends, but you might.
Sam's always on holiday. I told you
No,
this.
I'm not.
Always
I'm
on
working
holiday.
all the time.
Yes, we're thinking of doing an event in Bath stroke Bristol, depending on where we can get it, but it's going to be different. It's not going to be, we will have one-to-one appointments available at the event. What we want to try and do is to get people together, okay? Because I feel like we are a community of women who would really benefit from just knowing that there are other people like us out there. I mean, it's,
absolutely,
you know, we are, there's a lot of you know, I'm not an expert, okay, I just know what I know, but I've learned so much from our clients, because they will faff about with things that I haven't even thought about doing. So it's always really, really useful if you meet other people that wear hair, and certainly for people who've never worn hair and are entering into that market, it'd be lovely if they could just go into a room where there's 20 women there all wearing Betsy who look fabulous, you know, because that would instill an awful lot of confidence in everybody that was coming along who wasn't wearing hair at the time. And that's what we kind of want to do, isn't it? We want to do something with you all, and then offer you the opportunity to have a one-to-one consultation with one of the advisors or me or whatever.
absolutely.
And that could be a much better thing for us to do. So really,
sorry, I'm just reading.
oh yes, she's wearing fudge. Margot.
Margot's the one with the long grown out fringe you can trim.
Yeah.
Somebody's saying thank you so much. That's really nice. Does anyone in the US sell your toppers?
No.
Direct
if you see people saying that they do, they're lying. Lots of people say that they do. They're a scam. They're lying.
There's been quite a few scams,
if you see anybody claiming to sell Betsy, they're lying. They only come from Betsy HQ. So actually, just on that point about the Bath Bristol event, it'd be really useful and helpful for us if you could just let us know whether you want to come along.
Yeah,
if you would just we will. I think what we might do, maybe we'll put up a poll on Instagram.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And find out how many people would be willing to pop along to an event that we held. That'd be cool.
It might be a bit of a maybe charity. We're not sure. Perhaps.
Oh yeah, we've got lots. We've got so many big plans and hardly any time to do anything.
No, full of ideas. So, no time.
So yes, that's where we are. What's going to be? So much. Oh, hang on. Yes. Oh, by the way, we really, really are hoping that this has recorded. Like I say, I'm a novice to this, so I think it has. So, but yes, it will be available as a recording, and we'll put it on the Beautiful Betsy YouTube channel, and that's where it will be available.
We may not. The comments may not be on there.
Comments won't be on there.
Just so you know.
Yeah. Okay. So, love to join you. We'd love you to join us too.
It'd be lovely to meet everybody, really.
Yeah, it would. It'd be so good to meet everybody, and also, and get Sam, because Sam's, by the way, as well as a hair artist, Sam is an amazing makeup artist. So, those of us who haven't got much eyebrows and that kind of crap, you know, we lose our eyebrows. Why is it when you lose your hair, you lose all the good bits, but none of the shit bits? So you lose your eyebrows, you lose your hair, but you don't lose your hairy legs, or your hairy armpits. Oh my God, and you grow a beard. Why is that? I want to know. That is the question I need answering. So, okay, so yes, so we could do at the event, we can do all sorts of things, and we'll probably be reaching out to you just to see make sure that we're touching on the right things that you might be interested in. But listen, from my heart, thank you so much for joining us today. We had loads of people on.
And my heart.
We're so thrilled.
That's really amazing.
We're so thrilled.
We hope it was okay.
Yeah, we hope it was okay and useful and not too waffly. And we'd probably do this again.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think, well, let's see, what the comments are.
Yeah.
It seems we can't read them.
Let's see what the feedback is.
Oh dear, that was a shambles. Oh dear. Well, technology isn't my strong point, but I think we've done it.
Oh, somebody's just asking about online consultations. Yes, of course.
Yes.
Go to our website, go to events, and in there is a link to our consultations, and you can book a consultation with the lovely Sam.
And that'd be with me. Yeah. There's a few choices of times, but if you are struggling with those times, just book one, and then when I respond to you, because I will send you like a response to saying like a pre-consultation info. If the time's not great for you, I may be able to just move that slightly because I work for myself. It's just I have to put certain times in my diary. So sometimes
She's waffling. She's waffling.
I'm waffling.
Just book
There
the
you go.
appointment,
Just
and
book.
Sam will be in touch, and then you can negotiate when and if that happens. If that happens, but it will. It will. Okay, right. Big kisses to you all. Thank you so much, and we'll see you again soon. And I hope I know how to turn this off now, because this will be tragic if I don't.
All these people.
Sam, how do you turn it off? Oh, I know. I think I know. Hang on, it's this button here. Bye, everybody. Bye, bye, bye.
I don't know.